chocolates have to be. I know most triathletes are coffee snobs, so this is going to piss a few people off. Two hours of training, 80 grams an hour, 160 grams of sugar. So I titled one of my Strava runs the other day, "You probably need less quality than you think." And all I meant by that was, you see a lot of people, you might have, let's just use the run for the example because it's easy. You might have 40 to 50k of run volume in the week, and you see people doing 2 interval sessions, 10 to 15k of total volume at intensity. So, and that's purely because people just always feel the need to do more. Sometimes I think it's really hard mentally to just do less. So for this week, given we're in the base season, I'm just trying to build some speed. I'm doing 10 hours of cycling this week. This high threshold session is 20 minutes of work. It's simply 2 by 10-minute reps with a 5-minute recovery, which probably doesn't seem like much at all, but for the past 5 weeks, I've been doing between 15 and 30 minutes of quality work on the bike, averaging about 10 hours. So, and I've been making great progress over those few weeks. So, if you are a person who's feeling tired or feeling like you're not making progress, instead of bumping up, maybe try pulling back. So, I'm going to finish this warm up, got 9 more minutes, and then I'll start rep 1. So, first rep's going to start 10-minute up. Basically the way I do these, I'll go out the first 5 minutes at around 350 watts, which I know is my threshold. I'll look at my heart rate and see how I'm feeling, and then I'll adjust the second half of the rep for the stimulus that I want for that rep. So we've got 10 seconds, so we'll get in gear and we'll get started. Even threshold sessions. I know people think threshold sessions even should be hard. All I would say is not necessarily. Get the stimulus and get enough work in to get the adaptation that you want and get out. No point being a hero. So rep 1 done. That was 353 watts. For 10, pretty much right where I want it. My heart rate maximum for this session is 174. I lost control of my breathing a little bit in the middle. Heart rate went to 173, but by the end of the rep, settled into 170. So perfect spot for the next rep. I guess it wasn't really something I planned on talking about in this video, but my biggest advice for hard sessions, I know everyone's watched Lionel Sanders screaming and yelling during his sessions, and I used to do that. I don't know. My mentality now is don't show the pain. The second you start screaming and yelling, it just gets worse. So just hold it in. And to be honest, your sessions for the most part shouldn't be so hard that you need to scream and yell. If you are doing that, you're probably going way too hard. So we're going a 5-minute recovery for this one. So because it's high threshold, I recommend about a 2-to-1 work to rest ratio. So 10-minute rep, 5-minute rest. So keen to get into the next one. So that's it. 2 reps, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of work. I mean, we're not going to pretend it was easy. It shouldn't be easy, but it certainly wasn't hard. So first rep, managed to hold 353 with a maximum heart rate of 173. Heart rate cap for the session was 174. In the second rep, was holding my heart rate at around 174 from about minute 5 to minute 9, and then decided to have a bit of a dig in the last 30 seconds. So heart rate ended up getting up to 177, I think. So overall, perfectly executed session. Not long, but definitely enough to get the stimulus. So 20-minute cool down now, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. So we're like 40 minutes post bike, just smashing some lunch before we go to the pool in about 40 minutes. Got my standard beef and rice that I went over in the last video. And I know I said I drink fruit juice at lunch in that last video, but we're out of orange and pomegranate juice, so the next logical step is Coca-Cola, because my body is a temple. But I just wanted to take a second here to let you guys know about something that I'm offering. And this comes as a result of when I started this YouTube channel, I really wanted to give as much information as I possibly could, because I know it can be hard to find, especially if you are self-coached. So for those who are watching the videos to get information, it is tough to make the content really engaging as well as go in depth into topics for extended periods of time. So what I've decided to do is put together a 7-day free course on how to create your own training program. So overall, it's about 2.5 hours of content. And if you go to the link in the description and on the opt-in page, if you just give me your email, I'll send you one email a day with one part of each of the 7 modules, 1 day apart. So by the end of the week of emails, you should be able, or should be pretty confident writing your own training program. So if you just come here quickly, this is sort of what it looks like. I will go through how I would build out a program for myself or one of my clients, and I'll explain in depth as much as I can how we do that, or how I would go about creating a program and the reasoning behind why I do the particular things that I do. So if you just like watching me train, no need to go and sign up for that. I will be honest, the content's not super exciting, but it is really informative, and I am really happy with how it's turned out. But if you are a person who's watching my videos to learn, I think this is going to be a really good resource. So go into the description, put your email into the opt-in page, and I'll send you 1 email a day over the next 7 days. So back to the regularly scheduled program, and I will talk to you guys on the way to the pool. I'm going to apologise in advance. I don't think we're going to be able to get that much footage at the pool today, because it is school holidays here and there might be a lot of people around. But while we're on the way, I just wanted to talk about a concept that I think is quite important when it comes to how we put our high intensity sessions throughout the week. And that concept I've kind of called intensity stacking. I don't, like, people have called it like Norwegian double threshold and stuff like that, but I just call it intensity stacking. And the reason, so for example, today we're going high intensity bike, high intensity swim, and a gym session. Now, some people might think it's better to put those sessions on their own separate days. The reason I would advise against doing that, and the reason I don't do that personally, is when you do go above a certain threshold in terms of intensity, you do get exponential amounts of central nervous system activation. And if you've ever had like a fried central nervous system, it's like that feeling of when you go too hard in a session and you kind of like, when you go to sleep at night, you're kind of in bed and you're fatigued, but you're wide awake. That is that feeling of like severe like autonomic nervous system stimulation or depression or whatever you want to call it. So I advise allocating 2 days of your week, or potentially only 1, to high intensity workouts to minimize the amount of times we're tapping into the autonomic nervous system. So, or fatiguing the autonomic nervous system. So for example, one of your days of the week, if you have a gym session you want to hit, you might do a run workout or a bike workout plus a gym session, or you might stack your run intervals or bike intervals with swim intervals on the same day. Sure, it might detract from the quality of the second session a little bit, but the body doesn't know paces. The body only knows intensities. So even if the paces or the power or whatever isn't as good, you still will get the same stimulus, but you'll make your week of training far easier to recover from, instead of if you were to spread 4 hard sessions out across 4 days. You're really never giving your body that chance to recover. So that's my opinion on it. That's how I program myself and the people I coach. And if it helps you, if it helps you. If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we're gonna stop at 7-Eleven to get an iced coffee so I can go to the toilet before this swim. And this swim session is gonna be 5 maximum 50s. So I'll talk to you later about the concept I'm testing around doing some maximal efforts, because it's something I'm playing with right now. So yeah, I'll see you at the pool. So, session today will be 4K total. Main set's really short, literally just 5 100s on 5, 50 easy, 50 all out. And I'm just doing that because I've found through a little bit of recent testing that my top end speed is quite frankly abysmal. For reference, I only swam a 73 second 100 meter. So right now I'm bringing in a bit of neuromuscular power sort of efforts in order to try and get that 50 to 100 meter time a bit higher. Because look, I know we're all, I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably a triathlete. I know 50 meter isn't our goal, but kind of a phrase I've always, we're always focusing on efficiency, but one of the phrases I've always used is 80 to 90% of fuck all is still fuck all. So, if I'm ever going to swim 120 or 115 in an Ironman or a 70.3, you can guarantee I need to swim more than 73 seconds in a 50 or 100. So
to party, I'm not going nowhere, posted on the cul-de-sac. Gotta have at least a couple legs and strategies in case I find a different holograph. Should I really do a pedestal that they look up to? I'm like, ain't it funny how I go? Getting money from the show. Tell them I think I'm the best investment they ever made, ho. Talking down to me like I ain't on a level yet. I bet I sell double tickets on the road. Give a dip with real passion.
Bit of a time jump. Finished the swim a while ago. Had a bit of food. Now we're in the gym. Just finished the warm-up sets. About to go into my first main set of squats. I'm not going to go too in-depth on the lifting today. I guess following on from what I said previously about intensity stacking, I do advise putting your gym session on a day where you have other intensity. Again, you don't want to stimulate or over fatigue your central nervous system on too many days. You'd rather limit it to a couple days a week. So in terms of placing the gym session in your week, that would be my advice. But I'm not going to give too many pointers on lifting today because I am going to cover that in depth in a future video. So today, squats, push press, and snatch pull. I'll show you a little bit of each. I might talk about exercise selection in a bit. Maybe we'll do that. So I'm going to get my first set of squats done. This is 90 kilos, just 3 sets of 3, and I'll talk to you in a bit.
Maybe I should go country. I know a lot of people hate me, but I work hard for who love me. People all around the world say they used to own me, and they love me. Never turn anybody bitter, but I still when I started making music.
So midway through the session, got the squats done. Got 1 set of push press left, and I'll do some pulls at the end, which I'll show you. I'm not going to go too in depth because lifting in the context of endurance training is quite a complicated topic. But if you guys want somewhere to get started, go on YouTube and look for lifts that include triple extension to build your program around. So triple extension is simply movements that require extension of the ankle, knees, and hips. So anything, where you're doing sort of a jumping motion is a really good lift compound movement to build your program around because you're able to exert maximal force under a sub-maximal load. So that's what this program's built around. Like I said, we'll do it in another video. But the other tip I'll give is don't make the workouts too hard. Your goal is to build endurance. Your goal is not to get jacked. So make sure these workouts aren't too hard and aren't too long. So I'm going to get this done as quick as possible and be done with today. Cool, so I've only got 1 set left in this workout, so I'm going to call the video here. Hopefully it's not too long, I think it will be, but the off-season build continues. I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling strong. Haven't decided on the race schedule, but we'll get to that. So I appreciate anyone who made it this far, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.